Hey there folks, and welcome back. Another pretty quick video here today. I'm Xterminator, and thank you for joining me again. And this one is going to be a tutorial slash public service announcement in regards to some combat techniques that you may not initially think of, and I think will really help you if you're struggling with certain parts of the game and biters. I get a surprising amount of questions in my stream and on my videos and tutorial videos and such about how to deal with biters, like in the mid game or just in general. People are having problems pushing out against them, defending against them. Now, most of these things I cover will be for actually going on the offensive and pushing out against them, which I think is still very viable because the thought process of a good offense is a great defense. I know that's not quite how it's said, but you get the point. The best defense is a good offense, rather. Actually can apply quite well in Factorio, especially if you have expansion turned off, because just a quick thing for anyone who doesn't know, biters only aggro on you and attack you if their bases are in your pollution cloud. So if you clear them far enough, then you actually won't be attacked. If you clear them outside of your pollution cloud, obviously your pollution expands, but if you clear them and stay on top of it, you shouldn't really ever get attacked, or very minimally at least, if you clear the majority of them. And especially if you have expansion turned off, then they won't continue to expand inwards towards you. But I will cover something that does work quite well for defense as well. So the three things we're going to cover here are poison capsules, and slowdowns with them, I guess. Well, that'll just kind of be one together. Defender capsules and cluster grenades. And these are for a bit of different stages in the game, particularly cluster grenades, because they require yellow science to unlock. So they are fairly late, but I think a lot of people don't really realize how incredibly powerful they actually are. I did not for quite a while myself. I didn't realize how good they were. And they are just extremely good, like mid to late game. I guess that'd be more during late game once you've unlocked them, and a couple explosive upgrades. So just to note, I have all that stuff unlocked, and for this I've unlocked explosives, explosive damage 3 up to 3, so blue science basically, just because I figured, maybe you didn't want to spend 400 yellow science and stuff to get a higher one, so we'll just go with explosive damage 3. Also for the defender capsules, I've unlocked up to physical projectile damage 2. We could go higher. It's only military science, which is still fairly early on. In fact, I think you actually need that potentially to get the defender capsules. You do anyway. So we'll just go ahead and really quickly grab the research for this. I have instant research turned on, and we'll go ahead and test this out. So first off, let me show you the defender capsule. Because this is actually, these are very cheap. You can get them as soon as you get military science up, and they are really, really inexpensive to make. They just require gears, electronic circuits, and piercing ammo, which you would be making anyway for military science. And if you grab a few follower accounts as well, so we could grab like one of these maybe. You really don't even need a ton of these. Maybe let's just grab 2. Again, military science. And these are actually very powerful. Now, they do have a short lifespan, so you do need to use them effectively and not throw them out too far ahead of time. But I've spawned a little base here with some medium and small biters. There are mediums in here and medium spitters, which is, I think, about where you would maybe be at this stage of the game. If you rush science, you could actually not even have mediums yet. But these actually do a very surprising amount of damage. And I'm just going to throw out, I'm not even going to max it, I'm just going to throw out 6. Now, we do have shields and all that. I could take these out. But the main point here is to show you how strong the capsules actually are. So these will follow you around, and they will actually basically, you can see they are just shredding even medium biters. If you come in here, I'm not even shooting my gun. I have no personal lasers on or anything. And, like, even, I took out my shields. I got hit maybe once. So even if you just had, like, a heavy armor, which is just steel and copper to make, you could easily survive something like this. Now, there may be a bigger base, but these just with, the upgrades you can get with military science, which you would need to unlock these anyway, these just really shred. Now, you do see they have a short lifespan. They died shortly after destroying this base. But defender capsules, I think, are very underrated for early to even mid-game combat. Mid-game, medium biters, medium spitters, and even big spitters. While the big spitters do a lot of damage, they die fairly easily. These are still incredibly effective. And you could get Actually, I don't even think I researched shooting speed 3. You could get even up to shooting speed 4 and I think damage 4 as well. What we did get damage for. So you can get shooting speed up to 4 with military science, and then if you want to, you're in blue science, you get even higher ones, which would increase the effectiveness of the robots because those upgrades do affect them. Next, I want to show you poison capsules. Poison capsules are ridiculously good, stronger than you may think, and the reason for this is because their effects can stack. They can stack on top of each other, which means, if we look here, the area of effect is 11 and it's 8 poison, and this is a per second rate, per damage or per tick, and they will stay out for a fair bit of time. The description isn't super isn't super clear actually, but basically the more of these you throw in the same area, the more damage it's doing. It's stacking those damage effects on top of each other. So I'm going to aggro these badgers here, these enemies, and then I'm going to run inside this wall here and throw some poison behind me, and I'm going to just show you what happens when they run through the poison. These are actually also very effective for killing worms. Now they don't damage bases, but they do damage biters as well as worms, so these can be a good long-range option for killing worms. I am going to put in my shields just so I don't accidentally die or something in this process, but I'm going to take these and I'm going to aggro all these enemies over here. Which seems to have not been aggroed. I think they're actually on the wrong force, hilariously. I had some issues spawning things, but no biggie there. We'll go just aggro some new ones here. Actually, I will go ahead and cut the video, and I will respawn them, and then I will aggro them again. I thought these were on the correct force, but it seems not. So I will be right back. Alrighty, welcome back. I believe I figured out the issue. I had myself invincible on accident with the personal cheats in the creative mode mod, so they weren't attacking me. But we are back, and I believe I fixed it. So we're going to go ahead and aggro all these biters here and pull them back, and I'm going to throw out the poison, and we'll see what kind of damage this does. So, granted, some of them are dying to my personal lasers. That was just a precaution, but we do have plenty left here. And I'm just going to throw out a couple poisons. And you can see they are being damaged. So it killed all the smalls and mediums pretty instantly here. And he's just chewing away at the wall. But if we just throw some more poison, you can see how quickly this is doing damage. Right? And that was just a couple. Poison are very inexpensive to make as well. It's just coal, steel, and electronic circuits. Especially for the small and medium biter stage, it's extremely powerful, and then even for big biters, it is decent. It just takes a little bit longer, but you know, if you had a whole stack of these, you could just chuck out 10 or 15, and it certainly would do a good amount of damage. And then on top of that, if you threw in some slowdown capsules as well, it would hold them in the poison longer. Which would also be more effective, because you saw that biter there diverted over to the side of the wall here, and then combining that also with turrets. So in this case, I did it just to demonstrate the poison had no actual damage besides that, but normally you would of course probably have turrets in your base, so you could run back to that, or a defensive outpost, and then the turrets would help kill them, or if you had like personal laser defenses or overshooting them as well. I did nothing else to add damage, so when you combine it, it's incredibly powerful. Now, finally, the cluster grenades. Out of all of this, the cluster grenades are the most powerful. So again, to recap, we only have up through blue science of damage. So we have explosive damage 1, 2, and 3, and it's fairly cheap, only 300. And then you of course would have got to yellow science to even unlock cluster grenades, but we'll just assume you only unlocked through 3. And the nice thing about cluster grenades, now normal grenades are good, but cluster grenades are super good because they spread out, right? And they do a large amount of damage. So just to demonstrate very quickly, if we throw one grenade, that's what it looks like, right? Just for anyone who doesn't know. That's what a cluster grenade looks like, right? So it spreads out from its initial impact point. If we go ahead and run over here, and this is, you know, only 6 spawners, but still, there are some big biters and stuff mixed in there, and some worms, some medium worms. This is effective on almost any size base. If we run by, and I have no other damage, and I chuck a few of these in, this almost insta-kills some bases. Where it lands, it does almost insta-kill them, and then everywhere it spreads to, it still does a large amount of damage. And it does a lot of damage to enemies as well. Look at that. We had 10, I believe, or, well, like 9, I think, because I used one. So with 5 cluster grenades, we easily just eliminated this entire base. I think we actually eliminated the base itself with 4, and then used 1 more to kill the bugs there. And even the big biters, it took a couple hits and they were dead. So this is incredibly powerful. These cluster grenades, you know, this is like, if you don't have a Spidertron yet, or you don't have a full suit of power armor. You know, again, I have a full suit, but it's mostly just legs and a couple shields. You would probably at least have just normal power armor by this point. If you just had like 1 exoskeleton in there and a shield, you'd be fine. And this just, I mean, this just does so much damage. You know, it's just like, throw it in the middle there, and if you only want to use grenades, you can do that. But if you know, that last one was almost dead. If I just shoot it a couple times, it's going to die. Excuse me. So this will work on bases, you know, that are even massive, because it just spreads out. That's a nice thing. It has such a large area of effect. It will just do massive damage in a large section of space. So there you go. Just wanted to give a kind of public service announcement and a little tutorial for some combat options you maybe haven't thought of or thought were not as good. And I think a lot of these are undervalued or just not really considered. And they can be extremely powerful and help you defend or put on a good offense as well. So there you go. If you did enjoy it and found it helpful, a like is very much appreciated. It helps other people find it as well. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to keep up with all the content. And until next time, look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.